When Jake first sat in that wheelchair, the world seemed to shrink around him. Just 6 months earlier, he was a vibrant 28-year-old who loved running, fast, wild, and free. He was training for his first marathon, dreaming of crossing that finish line with a smile wide enough to light up the whole city. But life had a different plan. A car accident had left Jake paralyzed from the waist down. The doctors delivered the news with clinical precision, but the reality hit like a tidal wave. The freedom he took for granted, walking, running, even standing, was suddenly gone. Sitting in that sterile hospital room, Jake's dreams felt shattered, like glass underfoot. For weeks, despair wrapped around him like a heavy fog. He wondered if his life had meaning anymore. How could he run again when he couldn't even stand? The wheelchair felt like a prison, a constant reminder of what he had lost. But then something inside Jake shifted. It wasn't an overnight transformation. It was a slow, stubborn flame that started flickering, fueled by memories of every race he'd ever run, every finish line he'd imagined crossing. He realized that while his legs no longer moved on their own, his spirit still burned fiercely. His dreams didn't have to end in that hospital room. Jake decided he would find a way, no matter what. The first step was the hardest. Physical therapy pushed his body to limits he thought impossible. Each session was grueling. His muscles ached, and his body often rebelled. But Jake's mind was tougher. He repeated a mantra in his head: "Nothing is impossible." Slowly, he learned to maneuver his wheelchair with incredible speed and precision. But Jake didn't want just to move. He wanted to run again. He began exploring adaptive sports, discovering wheelchair racing. The moment he felt the rush of air against his face, the sense of speed and power, a new dream began to grow. Jake signed up for local wheelchair races, starting small. At first, he came in last, but each finish was a victory. Every race built his confidence and strength. The community of adaptive athletes welcomed him like family, sharing stories of their own battles and triumphs. Months turned into a year. Jake's training intensified. Early mornings blurred into late nights, with tireless workouts, drills, and strength training. The wheelchair that once symbolized limitation now became his instrument of freedom and power. His eyes were set on one goal: to compete in the marathon again, this time as a wheelchair racer. The news of Jake's determination spread. Many thought it was impossible. "No one has ever come back from such an injury to race a marathon," they said. But Jake had learned to tune out the doubt. He had something stronger now: belief in himself. The marathon day arrived with a crisp morning breeze. Thousands gathered, runners and spectators alike. Jake sat in his racing wheelchair at the starting line, heart pounding. His mind raced through every challenge he had overcome. The accident, the grueling rehab, the pain, the tears. The starting gun fired, and Jake surged forward. The marathon course was long and grueling, filled with steep hills and winding turns. His arms burned from the relentless pushing, but Jake refused to slow down. With each mile, the cheers of the crowd grew louder, inspired by his story of resilience. At mile 20, fatigue threatened to take over. His shoulders screamed in protest, and doubt whispered in his ear. But Jake pushed harder, fueled by years of grit and the faces of those who believed in him. Finally, the finish line came into view. A roar erupted from the crowd. Jake crossed it, not first, but victorious beyond measure. Tears streamed down his face as he realized what he had achieved. The impossible had become possible. Jake's story became a beacon of hope. He spoke at schools, hospitals, and events, reminding everyone that setbacks don't define us. What matters is the fight within, the refusal to give up. His message was clear. Life will knock you down, sometimes hard. But if you keep pushing, keep believing, keep dreaming, you can rise higher than you ever imagined. Jake's journey from wheelchair to marathon finish line wasn't just a comeback, it was a testament to the unbreakable human spirit. Really, nothing is impossible.